We have several senior ad agency people here in the audience and who will be watching this program for some time. And you guys are either publishers or you serve publishers. You know, what do you think the issues are about advertising moving over to the digital world? And what are the barriers and what should happen from an industry's perspective to give them the assurance you know, to shift either some of that television dollars or other dollars or pounds, euros, into this medium? Right.
So one of the things that we constantly hear is the old adage, right? Analog dollars to digital pennies, and general consensus is that we're at least back at dimes or quarters. Yet, you know, we're certainly not taking advantage of the potential yet in the online world. We see a few problems. First, we find that across a number of our publishers, their fill rates are abysmal. Some publishers as low as 1%.
Could you explain that?
They're monetizing at 1% of their capacity. They should be making at least 50, 60 times what they are, and they just aren't finding the right advertising. It's out there, and we're actually working proactively, and even in some cases, managing ad ops for our customers because they simply need better fill rates. At the same time, I think if we look further out into the future, it isn't just about putting in ads into the appropriate slots. There's a more holistic strategy that can be employed here. We noticed that today there's a gap. Content publishers are focused very much on long-term engagement and user retention. A lot of individuals in the ad space are focused on how do they reach consumers, but the way that they end up meeting in the middle is we're trying to find essentially the high CPMs for a single point in time. And that doesn't necessarily mean the right ad for the right consumer or the right load. And I think that's a big missed opportunity. The long-term strategy and future of the industry actually needs to involve personalization, not just around what content you get, not just around what experience, but actually how we try and monetize you. Some users shouldn't be monetized with 2 in-stream ads, 2 pre-rolls, and 2 post-rolls. They're simply going to abandon, and they're not going to come back, and that's not the appropriate strategy for you. Others can be monetized much more aggressively. If I'm on episode 8 of Spooks, you can monetize me, you have me, right? You can throw an ad up every 2 minutes, I'm very likely to watch it. But if it's episode number 1, it's much less likely. And so we need to get a lot more sophisticated, and this is actually a lot of the technology that Ooyala is building as part of our recommendation and personalization engines, is to take not just how we help you find the right piece of content and discover that, but how do we actually help you find the right long-term strategy to monetize revenue over the course of months or quarters.
I think there's a phenomenal opportunity coming for advertisers in video content. If you look at the growth of, like many things, user-generated content forges the territory first, and then professional content follows. If you look at growth rates of content over the next several years, UGC will probably grow at somewhere around 30% or so over the next 4 to 5 years. We're seeing in the professional content space right now, viewing growth at about 140 to 150%. And so you're going to see an increasing amount of professional content available online that which is the type of content that the brand advertisers are really looking to advertise around. So there's going to be a lot of opportunity there. 2 things that need to happen. One is that advertising needs to be customized for the environment. So just taking a television ad and repurposing it for digital does not work. Within digital, you need to look at what is the ad experience on the tablet versus the desktop versus the mobile device, and customize the ad experience based on those channels. The other thing that needs to get solved is currency. The buyers want to buy across platforms. There's the lines between broadcast and digital are blurring, but there's no common currency yet to be able to efficiently buy across those. And so solving for that is going to really help enable better buying, more efficient buying across, and that's something that needs to be solved.
Yeah, I take a bit of a kind of old-fashioned view of advertising where we're concerned. We don't have the problem of digital pennies because we sell our digital inventory like we sell television, right? It's the same team that sell it. and we sell the video at the same same or sometimes higher CPMs. We have more scarcity, and we sell out on BBC.com in a number of territories. So we have a shortage of inventory, and we need to create more video, ironically, to kind of meet the demand. The big problem that we have is the formats in mobile, right? Until we can find a way to effectively monetize the fastest growing platform, I think that's going to leave an increasing hole in our revenue. So that's where the majority of our time is focused.
Yeah, I think to offer advertisers a truly multi-screen advertising experience is something that we're moving towards, but we're not able to seamlessly do yet. So that needs to really be fixed. I'm pleased to say that I really think that the shift from the mindset of buyers around sort of looking at digital, buying banners on sort of direct response and measuring click-through rates for video advertising seems to be evolving into a more mature look at how online video advertising can be used to build brand awareness, more like TV buyers have always thought of it. So we're less being measured on click-through rate as an effectiveness measurement, but rather on brand awareness. So that's positive, but we're still a long way. We don't have a common currency, as Jeremy said, across TV and digital, and still we can't offer true rich media advertising experiences on mobile.
Yeah, I mean, I think a couple of points. I think to Dan's point, that what we hear from our publishers and from advertisers is there isn't enough content. We need more content. The inventory is there, the interest is there, the business is there, but there isn't enough content to kind of fulfill. So I think that's there's a lot of opportunity there. The other thing I guess is one of the other big challenges maybe is a sort of a perception issue as well, which is that I believe that for many broadcasters, when they're doing deals around program strands for TV advertising, a percentage of that deal will be allocated to digital, and that's becoming more and more common and frequent, which is a good thing, but obviously the proportion of that whole deal is quite small, which creates the perception of the poorer cousin, if you will. And I don't really know how you kind of fix that, so I'm not going to try.